Hi, this is Belinda with Belinda's Baubles, and welcome to episode 27. Today is May 28th, 2025, and I'm coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas. It's about 9 o'clock at night, I think. Yeah, 9:15 p.m. And it has been quite a month. I'll catch you up a little bit at the end, but I appreciate you all still being with me and watching me. It has been quite a month, and it's going to be quite a summer. There's a lot of family stuff going on right now, so I'm a little split. So I'm going to be somewhat erratic this summer, I'm afraid. So what to tell you first? First off, last time I saw you was during the North Texas Yarn Crawl. That wrapped up the beginning of May, and I did not go to all the shops this year. Just was exhausted and was not up to it. So I did my own version of the yarn crawl, had a blast, spent way too much money, and I'm going to be sharing with you what I ended up picking up. I thought I was going to do much better than I did, because I went after project quantities and not individual skeins. Still, I'm very happy with my purchases. Let's see. Also, since I saw you last, I participated in my first cast-on party. This was put on with Tanya from Karma's a Stitch. I'll put a link down below on where you can find me, where you can find her, and anyone else that I talk about in this podcast. But this was the first time I had done a cast-on party, and I may have gone a little crazy. You know how I've talked about how make nines are not for me? Well, I ended up casting on 9 projects. So I guess those are going to be my make nines for this year. So I'm going to be going over with you everything that I'm going to be working on, including what I'm wearing, because I cast this on also, I think it was the 4th or 5th of May, but I had an absolute blast. I actually was in a cabin in the woods that a friend of ours let me have for the weekend to get me a little alone time, and between me just being on my own in the woods, enjoying nature and lots of frogs. I mean, there were lots of frogs out. But I also had a day just being able to listen and text, because cell service was not that great for me to be able to talk. But I did have such a good time. So where to start first? Let's go with a finished object. I have one. And this is something you haven't seen before, because I cast it on during the cast-on party. This is the Anchor Summer Shirt by Petite Knit, and I made a few modifications. It's a paid-for pattern, but I won my copy from Karma's a Stitch. Thank you, Tanya, with her bingo party. Go check her podcast out. She's always doing something fun, and it's a blast to join in with some of her events. And they're done virtually, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world. So, to tell you what I did on this is, let me pull up my notes on the top itself so I can tell you what she said to use and what I ended up using. So, this is my first time making a petite knit pattern. And for the Anchor Summer Shirt, it's supposed to be made out of DK weight yarn using a US 6. And doing that, I would have been making in size extra large. It calls for, let's see here, 0 to 2 inches of positive ease. Well, I've ended up with a bit more positive ease, because I wanted this to just be comfy, cozy, and just something that I feel good in whether I'm going out or staying in. So what I used for this was actually Juniper Moon Farm Cumulus. And this was all stuff that I had in my stash. I had all this gold. Let me stand up here for a second. I had all of this gold that I was going to make a V-neck top with. And because this is, let's see, what is this made from? Sorry. I had all this earlier. It's worsted weight instead of DK for one thing. It's 251 yards to 100 grams, and it's 94% cotton and 6% nylon polyamide to kind of help it not lose its shape quite so much, but it still does a little bit. It's called Cumulus, and it is a cloud. I mean, look at the drape on this. Now, the actual colors that I used this is the Cumulus Stripes in the colorway Summer Camp. And I won this at On the Lamb Yarn Shop last year at one of her parties. I can't remember what it was. And I'm like, oh, look at the gold, because actually down here, this gold stripe, it's actually part this skein and part the gold. So it just faded right in beautifully. And I had seen this done up from someone else on when I looked up just Cumulus patterns. And there were two different ladies that had used the stripes at the top and either another yarn or the Cumulus yarn for the bottom. So I sat there, and since I had made something from this yarn before, Vivian, I think it's the Vivian V-neck, I really liked the drape of that one. So I used that as my gauge. So instead of using the 6mm, what did I, no, instead of using the US 6, which would have been a much denser fabric, I ended up using the US 10.5, which is 6.5mm. So I went up not only in yarn, but also in needle size. So because of that, instead of making the extra large or the 2XL, I ended up making a medium. And I probably should have made the small, but I gauged it to figure out how much it would be. And I still, I'm a little big on it, but I'm okay with that because it's just so comfy. I'm telling you, I can't even feel it where it touches my skin necessarily. It just sits there and it floats on you. So besides Summer Camp, the main color here is called Buttercup. Now this was a color from last year or the year before, so they have another yellow out this year, but I've seen where they had different ones. But I ended up using a total of 753 yards to make the top to fit somebody who wears a size 16, 18. Usually it takes more yardage than that to cover me. And I love it, love it, love it. Which is why I got it done rather quickly, even though it's one of 9 projects that I started this month. So I was actually going for a 48-inch bust with 1-inch positive ease. So either my math was wrong or my gauge is just off, because this is not 1-inch positive ease. It's not, but I'm okay. Next time though, I will probably make a size small if I do this again, and I wouldn't mind doing it again. I really like the way the rib circle neck goes in, and then there's just a little bit of raglan down here. Now, of course, the sleeves are very big on me with the way I did this, and that's the part that's probably going to end up bugging me the most, but not enough for me to do anything about it. With this being a first petite knit pattern, I enjoyed the pattern. It wasn't a difficult pattern. Would I do another one of hers? Maybe, maybe not. It just depends on if it's something that I really want. So it was not something that just kind of made it to where I just had to do more of her stuff. But oh well. I'm happy with this one. And like I said, I'll probably make it again, just with something different. Okay, so we need to probably move right along because there's a lot to cover. So from here, I am going to my new construction. Let me get my Ravelry page up, and I just have a huge basket down here, and I'm going to just pull one of the other 8 projects out, and we're just going to go through them. Now, I've done more on some than others. Some of them all I did was get them cast on, and I haven't gotten back to them yet. So what I have here is the Rocket Tee. Where am I at? The Rocket Tee by Tanis Lavely. Now, this is a paid-for pattern that I won from Stitches and Jacks a couple of years ago. I really wanted it. I've had the yarn put aside for this for at least 2 years, and so that was one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and cast it on. And so I haven't gotten very far. I literally have just cast on. So what I am using, I don't even think I have a pic. I don't have a. I'll put a picture up here of what this is supposed to look like. The main color I am using is Beachy Breeze in her Boardwalk sock called Peeping Pansies. Now, Beachy Breeze is now Clockwork Fiber. And so I have this one full skein, but I think I'm going to need more than that, so I'm going to stripe it with this one, which is, let's see here. Okay, so this is Arkansas Yarn Co. Yummy Plush. There's a bee in my Texas Bluebonnet. And this is just 50 grams because I'm using the other 50 grams in another project that's part of these. But I thought these went really well together. And I'm going to stripe them up a little bit. And then my other, as far as alternate those on the one stripe. And then for my fluffy stripe, I have Mirasol Inca, which is 64% viscose, 36% baby alpaca, in the colorway Amethyst. And it is that beautiful. So here's my colors. And I have 2 skeins of this, so I have plenty of it. So what I figured I would do is, just because I am worried that I won't have enough of the Beachy Breeze, I'm going to do, because you're alternating your solid with your hand dyed. And so I'm going to do 2 of the Beachy Breeze and then 1 of the bee in the Bluebonnets from Arkansas Yarn Co. And I'm going to kind of go back and forth that way, just so I can make sure I have plenty of length. So these are going to be most of these are going to be tops, and they're going to be what I'm going to be working on over the course of this summer. Let's see, here's another one that I've just barely got cast on. And I don't see the pattern in here because this is one that is online. I know what this is. This is the Streamline Tank by Alexandra Tavel. And on it, all I've done is get barely cast on. What I am using, get one out that I can actually get a hold of, is Cadia Aqua. It is made in Spain. It's an upcycled marine plastic yarn, 50% upcycled marine plastic polyester, and 50% cotton. And this one is, I think this one's black. Yeah, color 55, which is black. So the nylon has been colored, and then the cotton is still white in there. And it's super, super soft. I just made a, oh, what did I make? There's a reason I should be doing this in the morning, but then you get my morning voice. So, secret summer crop. I made a secret summer crop in red out of this. And this is a DK, I'm pretty sure. I take it back. It's not black. It's blue. It's a navy blue. I don't know if you can tell that or not. 109 yards for 50 grams. So you're looking at 218 yards. So it looks more like a DK than a worsted. I can get that on there good. But it would be kind of close in between those two. All right, so there's 3 of the 9. I'm going through some of the ones that I haven't done as much on first, and I'm going to dig down into the ones that I've been working on the most. Okay, so this one is a mashup. This is actually going to be the flutter butt shirt, but instead of a ruffle on the bottom, I'm going to use the Winter Garden sweater. So I'll put the pictures up here. And so I'm going to have that lace detail on the bottom, and I'm doing it in this rich, oh, okay, so that's too bright of a red. It's not that bright of a red. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Okay, that's more like it. It's more of a burgundy red than a bright red. I don't know. And I have just, I've got it cast on. I mean, I have barely got it cast on. Okay. The yarn I am using is Noro Sonata. This is 35% cotton, 25% viscose, 20% silk, and 20% polyamide. And it is, where's my yardage? It was 360 meters per 100 gram. And it says it's a number 2. which is basically sock weight, but with all these different fibers, it feels a bit thicker. So what I'm going to be doing with this is, I have several skeins of it here. I can show it to you here. Again, it's coming up as bright, bright red, and that's not what it is. Ooh, yes. Okay, there we go. That's it. That is it. It's that beautiful, rich color. And Heather at On the Lamb had it on sale, and it was like, okay, I have to have this. I was going to do a bright pink, but it was already gone, and this red just spoke to me. So my plans for this is, the last time I made the Flutterbutt shirt, I really liked the way that the body and the main body of it fit me. So I don't know if I doubt I'm going to do even the ruffles. I think I'm just going to use it for the body and then have the lace at the bottom. So it's not going to look anything like the Flutterbutt. Like I said, it's a mashup. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. Next up, see what I have here. Okay, so this is the edge scarf. And it is by Foxbane Fibers. We saw Kristen at On the Lamb Yarn Shop. She had a trunk show. And she actually is a viewer, so hi, Kristen. And we had a chance to really sit and talk and visit and just had a great time. And so I am looking, this is where Sam got this for me a couple of years ago. But this is the rest of that 50-gram Bee in Your Bonnet. There's a Bee in Your Texas Blue Bonnet yarn by Arkansas Yarn Co. It is in her Yummy Plush, 437 yards to 100 grams, and it's an 85-15 merino and nylon. This was a color from last year, I guess it was. And it came apart a little bit, so I've got a couple of balls of it. But this edge scarf can go around the neck. I'll put up, this edge scarf can go around the neck. I'll put up a picture here of what it's supposed to look like. And it's just a beautiful little, not ribbing, what am I trying to think of? It looks like a little bit of a rope around the edge. And so you can wear it around your neck or you can wear it in your hair. And it uses 50 grams of fingering weight. That's it. And I thought this would make some great Christmas presents, you know? Or maybe something that I use for myself, just to be able to have a little bit of something to wear without, in this Texas heat, without it getting too hot. So, did I even show you? I didn't even show you what I've gotten started on it. I have worked on this a little bit. I've taken it up, and this has been kind of a little bit of my hospital knitting while sitting in the room. And so I've just gotten the very tip, and you can see how the cabling is starting to go up. And then just over on the side here is just going to be garter stitch. And it's just going to go up and then come back down. And this uses, use my eyes here, a US 3.25 millimeter. All the information of any of these patterns that I'm talking about, I will have links to my Ravelry page down below, and you don't have to have a Ravelry membership to see them. Or you're welcome to message me or email me if you want more information on any of these. But that pattern, if it goes the way I'm thinking it will, you're going to see a lot more of them as I get ready for gift giving. So while we're talking about Foxbane fibers, I'm working on another one of hers. And this is actually yarn. Yeah, nothing I'm showing you so far. This was all stash yarn basically. But this other pattern, I've got most of these printed out just because of going out into the woods. I needed to have my patterns in case the internet was down. This is the raster cowl. It's going to be a circular cowl, so it'll be flattened out. Some of this out of the way. And I've gotten a little ways on it. And this is so, so soft. The yarns I'm using are both yarns that I did get for this purpose at On the Lamb Yarn Shop during the North Texas Yarn Crawl. So for the hand-dyed one, this is Hank Me Home Tonight. The colorway is Chad's Spring Break at Night. Chad is the shop ghost. If you go over to Instagram for On the Lamb Yarn Shop, there's some video of weird things happening at night when Chad is out playing while the shop is closed. This is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards to 100 gram in her squishy sock. And I am holding it double because it's supposed to be a DK that's used with it. So I'm just holding it double to do this. Then this amazing scrumptiousness. Let me look at that. This is Foxbane Fibers' own Baby Surrey alpaca and mulberry silk fluff, basically. And this is 246 yards to 100 grams. This is DK fluff. I mean, look at that. And it makes for such an amazing cloud of softness. And this is going to look so, so cool. And it's going to keep me so warm this winter. And she had a special to where if you bought yarn to make the raster cowl at that time, that you got the pattern for free. So I did get the pattern for free because I bought the yarns at the yarn crawl to make this. Now her main one she has with these different colors of fluff, she had a blank. There we go. I went blank, but she had a blank dyed up so that whenever you pulled on it, it would actually fade from one color to the others as you dyed it up, since it was in a blank and you were just knitting it from the blank. So my stitch marker is grabbing the yarn and making a mess. But I wanted to use Chad's Spring Break at Night. So I'm doing something a little different. So it's not going to have all those shifts in color, but I am going to have a few different colors because you see this has in it black, a little bit of purple, pink, yellow, turquoise, gray. Yeah, so it just has so many great colors in it. And the pattern is one that it's about a 4-row stitch repeat. And I'm just enjoying it because it's something that feels good in my hands. It's very textural, but it's easy to memorize and to keep going with. And just go, go, go. And I've needed something like that with being up at the hospital and doctor's appointments and everything lately with other people. So what is next? Okay, so this is another one that I picked up on the yarn crawl as far as the yarn. And this is for, I purchased it at Fiber Circle in Farmersville, Texas. And I am making course, I don't have any of that information right here. Here we go. Let me get over to my other notes. I am making the Palm Springs tank by Leslie Forrester. And this is a brand new tank that just came out. And I got the pattern just as soon as it came out. And I'm making this for another family member. So it's going to be in the size medium. And this is in fingering weight. Have you noticed I have a few fingering weight projects? They're going to take me a while. And I've already warned this family member that this is likely to be her birthday present next year instead of this year, but I'm working on it. So this is the back. And so I'm just getting started on it. I don't know, I have probably about 3 inches there. So it's coming along. But I've been, again, something that's easy to just go back and forth and make. And I'm excited about this because I'm also going to make one of these for myself. Now the yarn that I am using, get one of these out. Well, okay, now I got it out. It's called Think Bamboo, bamboo fiber yarn. It is, let's see, who puts this out? It just says thinkbamboo.com. It's super fine, number 1. 45% rayon from bamboo, 40% wool, and 15% nylon. 224 yards per 50 grams. It's little tiny yarn. And I have never used this before. It's hand wash and dry flat type yarn. But I really like, if you take a look there, this beautiful coral color, but you can also have a little bit of white in there. So you've got dyed and undyed all mixed in. And I really like the fabric that's coming out. Okay. And this tank top, I want one for myself. I'll be showing you the yarn that I picked up on Yarn Crawl to make one for myself, but I'm going to get this one done first. I better put my notes back in there so I know what I'm doing. And I treated myself to a whole lot of just mesh organza bags. I put my yarn in this, especially with it being spring and bugs starting to come out and everything. I'm a little on the paranoid side, so instead of just having my yarn in project bags, I have it in this and then in a project bag. That's why you're not seeing any project bags at the moment, because I just pulled all this out. All right, so let me talk about another one first before I get to that one, because this is the one I'm most excited about. Oh, I'm excited about all of them. And these are all things that I've wanted. And as you can tell, it's basically all summer type stuff. Now, will I have them all done for this summer? Probably not, but you never know. I got this one done. And this is another one that I have had the yarn for a few years, with this pattern in mind, and I just had not started it, so I went ahead and got it started. So this is the Fresh Berries Tea by Universal Yarn. I already have one of the, I have one of these teas already, which is that pink and turquoise. It's like a pale rainbow top that I wear sometimes, and I absolutely love it. And so this also is made from Cotton Supreme Waves by Universal Yarn. It is 100% cotton, so it stretches out a bit. And 230 yards per 100 grams. So it's a DK. And I've gotten pretty good ways along for starting this. You can see all the 4 shades of blue in here. So it's got kind of a square neckline and then raglan shaping. And then the sleeve is just a little bit of ribbing after you, and then you just keep going. So I made the last one out of just 3 skeins of Universal Yarn, and I'm able to, and it goes a little large, so I am using, and this is a free pattern, by the way. They call for size US 6, and I'm actually using, I think, an 8. Yeah, I'm using the US 8 instead to make it a little more flowy, and I'm using doing a size large. And I love what it's making so far. It actually goes that way. And it's just, you know, doing your increases where you're supposed to. It's a great, easy pattern. And I'll tell you about these in a moment, these new cords that I've gotten, because I have gone through and updated most of my cords because I wasn't going to have enough needles, and I had enough needles for all these projects, but I didn't have enough cords in the correct sizes, so I updated them. And I'll tell you about, well, let me go ahead and tell you about that real quick. Okay. So I updated them with Lantern Moon swivel cords. And this is not any kind of a paid promotion or anything. I got them off of Amazon, and they fit most standard interchangeable needles. I have them on Knit Pro, Knit Picks. What else do I have in here? I have a couple of other ones in here as well, but they're not memory. So they swivel and they don't crink up. So I am really loving that. And you get 2 for the price of 1, basically. It also comes with a wooden end caps and a tightening tool in there. So this is the first time I bought any of the Lantern Moon products. My brother says that and they are promoted by Knit Pro. My brother Bill says that he has tried their needles and he likes them okay, but I haven't tried their needles, but I really do like the swivel cords. Like I said, after I tried them for a few projects, I ended up updating most of my cords to this because I really had been looking for another swivel cord, and I love them. Okay, so this is the last of the cast-ons. And I am really excited about this because I am using, excuse my mess here. I'm using my Bashful Armadillo Sea Cell. This is in Shark Attack that I got at the DFW Fiber Fest in 2023. Yeah, in 2023. And so I've been trying to figure out what I wanted to make with this because I have 3 50-gram skeins. It is 200 yards per 50 grams. And so a few months ago, I purchased some silk and sea cell undyed yarn from someone who was moving out of the country. And this is Swiss Mountain. It's just undyed, but it's sea cell and silk. And I wanted to use them together. Now, you're going to look at these and go, oh no, it's going to dye all over. It's going to, you know, it might a little bit, but it shouldn't, because what I did was before, yeah, I haven't done those yet, but before I wound this one up, I washed it and I let it dry so that that way, if it had anything that was going to come out, I was going to get it out then. And it didn't. It did not bleed hard. I mean, hardly at all, maybe a tiny bit. So I'm not too worried about it. And what I am making with this, you may ask, is the Aconite by Audrey Borrego. It is a free pattern. She's put all of her patterns out for free. And I'm going to do a short sleeve version. And I've just got one section so far. Color work. And I love the texture in this. And this is the left front shoulder, I think. It's one of the shoulders. It's either the left or the right shoulder. And she had me go ahead and just put the stitches on hold. I actually have them on hold down there. And then this will be up at the shoulder. So I'm pretty excited about this. And with this very fine yarn, this was quite a bit of knitting for me. I don't know if you can see the texture that way a little better or not, but it has this great texture to it. So I'm ready to cast on the other shoulder. And then I'm assuming I'll be casting on the back. So this, and with the sea cell, I have been kind of testing it up against my skin. My skin does not heat up wearing it. It feels cool to the touch, even while putting it on me. So I am thinking that this may hopefully hold the properties that I've been hearing about on sea cell, to where it will keep you cooler. It just may not be keeping me cooler this summer. It may still be one of the ones that's going to get me through next summer. So that is all of my cast-on party cast-ons. So you will be seeing these patterns quite a bit over the course of this next year as I make my way through it. I still have a couple of new patterns that I've gotten. One that I'm going to be making a winter coat out of, and Bill found me some yarn that I was looking for it. So that's a pattern that I learned about on the yarn crawl, but I'm going to be talking about that once I actually cast it on. So we went through all of that. And if you're not interested in seeing all of my purchases, thank you for coming along with me today. But if you still want to continue on with me, let's see what we can do. I'm going to go through these a little kind of fast. Let me get my computer out of the way here to give myself a little bit more room. Because I didn't do as good as I thought I would. Or I did a little too good. One or the other, I'm not sure which. Okay, first thing for the North Texas yarn crawl I picked up, I'm going to show you, is this bag. I didn't get the official yarn crawl bag. Instead, I got the On the Lamb yarn crawl bag, which says I get my yarn refills at On the Lamb Yarn Shop. They had this year a bag that I just wasn't crazy about, so I just did not get it. Like I said, I picked up yarn. I see how I can do this. I picked up yarn that was more project based. So I went to Knit Dallas and I picked up there these Biches and Bouches Lillimore's Pure Wool. This is me, and several of these you're going to see are going to be woolly wool, because I'm trying different ones still to see over the course of this year, am I really allergic to woolly wool, or am I allergic to the processing? So we're still trying to figure some of this out, and I'm trying different ones. They had this in the clearance back in the back. So this is Lillimore's Pure Wool, made in the UK, 100% wool. And it says a beautiful, natural, scoured quality for your dreamy knitting projects with love, Astrid, Caroline, and Louise. It's 109 yards for 50 grams. And it's just natural colors, not dyed. See if it has any other information. It doesn't really have any other information, but I picked up, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, if I could, let's see here. I picked up 8 of these, so I have 400 grams. They're all exactly the same in this black and white marled. Looking for a place to put them. Okay. All right, so if you remember back in April, Bill and I went and learned how to do some drop spindling. And we were down in Waxahachie at Uta Yarn. And I picked these up before Yarn Crawl, but I'm counting them as part of Yarn Crawl because I recorded their shop then. And this again is a woolly wool. It is Mountain Meadow Wool Touch the West, made in the USA in Buffalo, Wyoming. It is Alpine hand-dyed quartz. DK, 255 yards to 100 grams. And it is grown on Geis Ranch in Gillette, Wyoming. 100% mountain merino targi. And none of them are exactly the same. They are definitely hand dyed, but I picked these 5 out to do a fade. They're just slightly different, starting from a darker pink down into a pale pink. And they had some that were more of a peach, but I really liked these pinks. And I'm wanting to make a vest or something along those lines, maybe a short sleeve sweater, but this is going to definitely be a slight fade as it goes down. So again, you know, I was buying enough for a project even if I don't know exactly which project yet. And again, this was in their clearance section. Can you tell where I've been shopping? Okay. Again, another woolly wool in DK. This is Cascade Eco Merino DK. I'm around all these woolly wools, so my nose is going to start itching. But this is 100% merino wool undyed by Cascade Yarns. So I wanted to try their Eco yarn and see how I did. It's a number 3 light, so it is DK, 254 yards to 100 grams. And so I did 2 colors because I wanted to do a striped vest, but I stuck with the browns. So that other one was like a black or gray marled, and I mean, this is definitely minimally processed. I can already tell, you know, I can tell from the feel and everything, but I wanted to see how Cascades goes up against the Eco wool that I had gotten from Nitpicks. So that I did that other vest in, and I was able to do that vest in just under 4 skeins. So I'm probably going to do a similar vest with these just striped. And that was with the Ann Bud pattern. Okay. Here is my Palm Spring tank kit. I already have a pattern already out and everything. This is what I'm going to make myself a Palm Springs tank out of. And this is out of Twisted Ambitions yarn. Look at that color. This is Lemnus, yeah. The Sweet Singles. Hold on, let me see. Sweet Stock. One of these was marked wrong. So yeah, Sweet Singles. 100% superwash merino, 400 yards to 100 grams. And I don't know if the color is Lemnos. I don't know. But look at the color. And it is that deep turquoise that looks like it's glowing in the dark, and it's not. It's just beautiful. And so I'm going to make a Palm Springs tank for myself out of this. All right. So next is just a little bit of fiber. I picked this up along with some gold for Bill. A little bit of bright orange to be able to play with on the drop spindle and see how I do. I got that at Fiber Lady in Lewisville. Then besides the yarn I'd shown you earlier from On the Lamb Yarn Shop and the bag, I got a Chad kit. You know, Chad the Ghost. This was so much fun. Look at this. I've got a Bougie Ghost needle stoppers, little scissors, needles in there, some different stitch markers and everything in a magnetic thing and magnetic case, and I've been wanting to use this and I haven't because I hadn't shown it to you guys yet. So I'm excited I get to use it. Then let's see here. I also have some needle nannies from Kristen at Foxbane Fibers. She gave those to me and a set for Bill, and he said thank you. Then I have all my different little stitch markers. And on the Lamb Shop pin. What else do I have? Oh, Charming You. I got some of the pink cow buttons. No clue what I'm going to do with them, but ooh. Maybe I need to figure something out with this. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, I got to put these in here. Okay, so now I've got to find me a pattern that will actually be a cardigan or a button vest. Because I definitely need to use the Charming You buttons there. Okay, stick those in there so I don't forget about it. And while talking about Foxbane Fiber, she has her Yule Lad Advent Kit 2025. Her pre-orders close May 31st. So you may or may not have a chance at this. But what's different about her Advent is it does cost a bit more than a lot of the other Advents, but they're 50 grams in each skein, not 20 grams. And so you have a whole different variety of things that you can do with that. And let's see. Then at Fiber Circle, I got this little 2-inch gauge checker. And she also had made some rainbow drop spindles. And I purchased this one because this was more what I was using in the class, is this style of drop spindle. What I have is the Turkish one. So I got one of these to try out. It's 3D printed. And she gave me this one because this was one of her prototypes. And so it's, you know, whole different weights in the way you do it. But what she had found was that when she was making these originally, you dropped them, they broke real easily. So they actually put a screw up inside here to strengthen it and everything. And so I'm going to be trying the different styles and see what I like best. And since this was one that she wasn't going to be selling, she gave this to me so I could try it out since I was experimenting with all of this. So I'm going to put this in with my fiber and see which of the 3 styles of drop spindles I like the most. And how about that? The bag is empty. And I have a huge pile of stuff over here. Okay, so just a little life update. There is different illnesses going on throughout the family, different things that they're not my story to tell. So just suffice it to say that I'm going to be spending a lot of time in doctor's offices and hospitals and driving back and forth different places over the course of this summer. So I don't know what my video recording is going to look like this summer. I don't know what my brain is going to be like in making these things. So we're just going to play it by ear. I'm going to continue to try to at least record one video a month, but unfortunately, I don't know when the timing will be on those. Christmas in July is kind of up in the air right now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that this year, or if I'm just going to change it up, maybe do a weekly vlog, or what I'm going to do. So just bear with me as everything evolves. It's gone from looking like really bad news to being better news on some of these fronts, and so there's just family members that are struggling that could use your prayer, and that have some fights, and I'm just trying to be there to support. I'm fine, other than my normal asthmatic self, but with my allergies and all that. But other than that, I'm fine. It's just life is having to evolve this summer. So thank you very much for coming around and joining me today. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help me grow my channel even during these crazy times. And just to let you know, all of the prizes people have gotten in touch with me for, so they're all out on their way or in the hands of those who won them. Thank you very much for everyone who participated in the 500 subscribers, the topping out mail. And I know I just had a podiversary that I haven't done anything for yet, but I'm kind of waiting to see what the tariff situation and everything turns out to look like, to figure out what prizes will look like in the future for me, because I know I do have people that are watching from around the world, and I don't want to exclude anyone. So that's it for me today. Thanks again, and I will see you guys real soon.